Good morning, everyone. Amy Taylor joins me, former TMJ4 anchor this morning. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning, Tiffany. I'm so happy to hear from you. I miss everybody so much. Good morning, Milwaukee. I feel you. I feel what you're feeling right now. And I really do feel we are in this together. And when I heard my producer, Katie, speak to me this morning, I got tears in my eyes because
Aw.
this is such an unusual situation. I'm literally in my basement. It's so weird,
Well,
you
it's
know?
so great to see you. You clean up well for being
Oh,
home
thank
for a
you.
while.
I
I
always put
think
on
this
this
is,
lipstick.
yeah, I think this is fabulous. A little lipstick goes a long way. You are homeschooling triplets right now. Is that
Yes.
true?
Well, let's be clear. The Mequon Thiensville School District is homeschooling triplets. I walk around in circles and answer queries when possible. But like most moms, I say, "What are you doing?" And they're like, "I'm walking around in a circle." They are doing online learning. We're very fortunate to have online learning right now.
Yeah, I think that's great. Do you have any tips to just like help them focus? I think sometimes we've had a couple teachers on saying, asking them questions about what do they need, what kind of lighting, what sort of space, what kind of pens or pencils.
I think those are all fantastic ideas. The thing that I think is really important is no matter how stressful this gets for you, I think it's important to be honest with your emotions, to tell them that you understand how they feel, to talk to them, to ask them to check in every day, and try to sit down with them at least once a day, even if it's over frozen pizza. Frozen pizza is not overrated.
So true. It's
You
a
know?
parent's best friend when they've got teenagers in the house. What about video calls? How have you felt about them? Because so many of us are doing different Zooms or FaceTimes with our parents or people that we can't see in our lives. Have you been doing that too?
Well, I used to kind of detest them actually because
Me
I
too.
felt that there was we are people, and we like to hug and touch and feel, but now this is what we have. And so I'm so grateful for it. And I think it's really the way people are hopping on this. It's revolutionizing the way we communicate. And we're starting to understand that, hey, maybe we don't need to spend 40 minutes in a meeting face to face. We can be more efficient. Maybe we won't have as much job travel. Maybe this will be a easier way for some people to work. Although I understand for a lot of people, it's difficult right now.
It's so true because I do think we've learned how efficient we can be at home. It's funny though, because doing FaceTimes or all these things, I try and get my mom to do them with me and she absolutely refuses. She's like, no, I don't want to have to put on, my hair and my face. And,
A woman after my heart.
yeah.
Yes.
So I didn't know if your dad will FaceTime because I know he's in a home and I assume you can't see him. We've got a cute picture of you with him.
Yes, thank you so much for asking. And I think this is the most difficult and challenging aspect, in addition to having a brother who's in New York City, is our elderly population. And I
Yes.
just want to say to everybody out there, including you, who are dealing with family who are elderly and are isolated, including my dad, he's been allowed to have no visitors, and I mean no visitors. So we are left with all of this technology, which is phenomenal. However, it is challenging, right, to
Yeah.
be able to get them to utilize it. He said his friend said, "Let's do a book club and we could do it on Zoom." And my dad's like, "I want no Zoom." No Zoom for me.
No surprise
So,
there. I
yeah,
think
no
that's cute. I
surprise.
get it. Like it's sort of one of those things that it's like you have to like warm people up to. But you're right. It gives us a way to connect in a hard time. What do you think you've learned about yourself during this pandemic? Because I think all of us are kind of coming out at this point saying what we've learned about ourselves, and I think there's so much to be learned.
There is so much to be learned. I feel like this has been a massive education for all of us about trying to look inside for our internal strength. And I've learned that when I'm scared, I'm very emotional. And I've also learned that that's how I cope with it. And I've learned that I have big shoulders. And I think I'm stronger than I thought I was. And I now have confidence that the going can get really tough, and then suddenly it's on me. And I think a lot of women in my generation are feeling this pull with the family, pull with the parents, pull with the job, trying to make all the ends meet and feeling exhausted. We had that already. Now we have like no work-life balance. That's been obliterated, right? We're seeing that Americans are working 3 more hours a day. They're checking in email at midnight until
Yeah.
3 a.m. Tell me you haven't done that, Tiffany,
Oh, I'm
right?
doing
Like,
it all the time. I mean,
right?
I have a hard time shutting it off when I'm at home. I'm very good at leaving it at the office when I leave the office, but it's that I think that physical feeling of leaving a space and entering a new one that allows you to leave things someplace. And so we really have to relearn our boundaries as people, and I think that's a tough task. You've got, your whole family there, your husband Jason, your triplets, you got 3 dogs. I know we've got only 2 of them in this picture, but there's another. So it's
Yeah,
a
we
full
added one.
house.
Yes, it's a full house. Don't forget, I have 4 birds, which everyone needs. I
That's
don't really
incredible.
understand what we were thinking, but it's a very busy household. And I will say that there's nothing perfect happening here. I mean, this family, we can be short with each other, we can be intolerant, and then Jillian, my daughter's walking around going, "We have to be kind. We have to be kind. We have to
There's
stop
always
doing
one,
that."
right?
Yeah,
Is she?
yeah. And
She's
I'm like,
like
"Shut
probably like
up!"
the
No.
youngest by a minute, It's the youngest.
Yes,
That's,
it's true. She's a wonderful actual middle child, but she's always just a voice of reason sometimes.
Yeah.
But 3 16-year-old girls is definitely challenging, and I know it's challenging for everybody right now.
Well,
Everybody.
and you keep it up, Amy. It was so nice to catch up with you. I think
Oh,
you're doing a
so
wonderful
wonderful.
job, and I love that you shared the trials and tribulations and the happiness of your family right now. So thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Tiffany, and take care of yourself. Stay safe and stay safe, Milwaukee.
Yeah, you too. Our sound off for today is we want to know, what have you learned about yourself during this pandemic? Let us know. Maybe it's something positive, maybe it's something tough that you've learned. Either way, we want to know what it is. I was able to talk about this with a couple people online this last week, and it was really incredible to see the poignant responses of people. So I'm excited to see what you all have to say as well.